Very good morning, good evening to all of you. I hope you people are doing good. Good evening, Mansa, Mamta, Rishi, Fareen. Very good evening. So myself, Rachna Chauhan, and I will be taking your current affairs for the day, that is 26th of April 2025. So yes, this is the front page of the newspaper you people can see. Right. So again, there is some news related to the recent incident which has happened in last days. So the front page is full of that news only, so you can go through the front page, but not that much relevant because these are the repetitive news which are being circulated on daily basis after that incident, right? Okay, so we will move further. So these are the various courses brought up by Tathastu ICS. As we tell you people that there are some foundation batches, morning and evening both. So whosoever is interested in the foundation batches can go through the details from website itself, or if you're staying in Delhi, then you can go through the details here also. You can come here and go through the details. Moving on, there are some philosophy optional and PSIR optional. What you can do is, if anybody who is interested in the philosophy optional and PSIR optional, so we are starting the batch, we have already started the batch from 7th of April for both the optional, so you can go through the details and inquire the details as per your convenience if you are interested in these optionals. So this is the quote for the day, that is, learning is the only thing the mind never exhausts, never fears and never regrets. So learning is something which you people can understand by the word itself कि वो कभी खत्म नहीं होगी. If you have learned something, you have taken the knowledge from something, so that will always be there in your mind. It will never get exhausted, you will never fear about it, and you will never regret about it, right? Moving on, so these are the various topics which we will cover today. The first one is related to the policy framework that fosters inclusivity in startups in need for the hour, says panelist. So this was a recent summit happened in Tamil Nadu related to the startup 2025. So we will discuss that what is the need, what policy framework is required for the basic of the startups, right? So we will discuss about that what needs to be done, how these new policies can be can be proven to be that inclusive, so that the startup which we are coming up with, they can be beneficial for our economic growth as well as for the common and the marginalized group. That we will discuss. The second one is a chance for India's creative ecosystem to make waves. Waves is waves full form is World Audio Visual Entertainment System. So India is trying a step towards the entertainment and media systems, so that we can develop a good image, good profile at the global level in this kind of creative ecosystem as well. So we will discuss about this waves and WaveX. What is WaveX? We need to understand, and what this is exactly, this creative ecosystem is, what is the meaning of creative ecosystem, that we will understand, right? Third is your carrot and stick. The 2015 Accord must be revived to prevent Iran going nuclear. So Iran is trying to weaponize the nuclear program. So because of which the JCPOA agreement and the US's stance has become very much important. So we will understand both the stances at the global level and what all other things are going on at the geopolitical level for this particular recent initiative by Iran. Moving on to the first news. The first one is here. This is the cutout of the newspaper here. So Tamil Nadu startup ecosystem is expanding rapidly with focus on tech-driven and assistive technology innovations. What is assistive innovations? Assistive innovations are something, these are the technologies which are being acquired in the equipments and many other things which are being helpful for the persons who are disabled. If a disabled person who's using some equipment which is done with this assistive technology, so that will be very helpful for them, very beneficial for the disabled person. So this is the main focus of the tech driven and assistive innovation. This startup meeting has the focus on both the things. Second is the Hindu Tamil Nadu Startup Summit 2025 highlighted the need for inclusive policies for gender disparity, that there has to be gender equality, disability inclusion and diversification. So these are the three pillars which you can say कि ये basic focus रहेगा जो startup summit recently which has happened in Tamil Nadu, that these three things will be the prime focus. That first one is your gender equality, second is your disability inclusion in the startups, and third is your diversification of particular startups in the coming future. Moving on. So what are the key highlights? First, we need to understand what were the key highlights of the startup. The first one is assistive technology and disability inclusion. So we want to include these disabled people. For example, India emerging as a global hub for assistive technology. I already explained what assistive technology stands for. What do you understand by assistive technology? So persons with disabilities contribute around 5 to 7% to GDP, which is a very good number. That means we should come up with detailed policy frameworks so that the investment and innovation in this sector can be done in coming future, so that it can be beneficial for the economic growth as a whole, right? Inclusion must be part of formal policy framework. Second was your academia role. What is academia role in this particular startup summit? The first is emphasis on entrepreneurial mindset in students via hackathons, research and everything. So we need to include academicians in the startup process so that their ideology can also be beneficial for the coming future startups which we are going to plan. So research, commercialization and faculty led startups needs to be done. There is one example also you can see. So industry academic collaboration to align research with market demands. So this also needs to be done, right? Moving on. So next is the next highlight which you can see here is related to deep tech and diversification, which was the third pillar which we discussed. That is push for deep tech, research based products and manufacturing startups, which are very much important. Second is your consistency, expert collaboration and long term dedication essential for the coming startups, essential for success. These are some examples which you can see. You can quote these examples in your answers whenever you get such questions related to this particular topic. Then you can quote such kind of examples which I have given in the PDF, right? Okay, so what will be the impact of all these highlights which are being there in the summit today, summit which we are discussing today? So we will see impacts. That is, first one is your empowers marginalized group through innovation, right? If we are going to include the disabled people in this particular process in the coming startups in the future, so it is going to empower the marginalized group particularly. Second is your encourages economic contribution and independence of the persons who are disabled. So economic contribution increase hoga. How? We already understood that disabled population which is promoting this thing particularly is around 5 to 7% of GDP. So you can understand that there will be too much of economic contribution if we are going to include disabled people in these kind of initiatives and the startups. Third is your build a diverse and resilient startup ecosystem, which is very much required as how India is proceeding in the coming future. So this is very much required. What will be the challenges? That is lack of inclusive policy incentives. So we need to come up with a very comprehensive plan for this particular project. Policy inclusions is very much important. So inclusive policies are very much important in coming futures, so that we can, that this particular project, the startup can be a beneficial instrument for coming time. Second is your limited funding, marginalized innovators and low awareness of assistive technology. You are thinking of bringing assistive technology in coming future, but before that we need to understand what exactly is assistive technology and how it is going to be beneficial for the disabled people. So awareness related to assistive technology is required, right? Moving on. What can be the way forward? if we want to achieve all these three pillars which we have discussed in the previous slide, that is gender equality, diversification and disability inclusiveness, how these three things can be achieved? So design an inclusive startup policy with financial and infrastructure support. So you need to have that financial and infrastructure support so that it can be done. Second is your strengthen academic industry partnership, which is also very much required if you are going to bring more and more educated people in this particular startup process. It is going to be good enough in the coming future. So promote public-private collaborations for scaling inclusive innovations. So this is all related to the first news. So there will be a question related to it. Just go through the question and give me the answer in 30 seconds. Yes, so what is the question? Which of the following is the key element highlighted at Tamil Nadu Startup Summit 2025, fostering inclusivity and in India's startup ecosystem? So what will be the answer? The first statement is promoting only tech-driven startups. Only if there is any extreme word you can see in the statements, then you can directly eliminate it. Second is your investment in assistive technology and disability inclusion. Okay, we can understand. Third is your focusing exclusively on traditional industries. No. And D is your limiting startup funding to women entrepreneurs only. Again, an extreme words which is being used in the statements. That means it can be a wrong answer. So many of you have written B. That means B is the correct answer. Moving forward. Very good. Those who have not understood, please go through the question again and write the answer in the comment section. So this is the second news which we will discuss today. That is a chance for India's creative ecosystem to make waves. What is waves? Waves is your world audio-visual entertainment system. So recently, India aims to position itself as a global creative powerhouse amid global trade tensions. So India is trying to put up a major step at the global level related to its position itself as a global creative powerhouse, right? So we need to understand one thing, that first the World Audio Visual Entertainment Summit Waves 2025 is scheduled to be held in Mumbai around May 1 to 4. Focusing on boosting media and entertainment sector through global partnerships and innovations. So here we need to understand that we in some different sectors also, you need to see that India is putting a step forward in media and entertainment sector as well. How? Why this sector is also important? We need to understand in that context. So key initiatives is Waves Accelerator, that is WaveX. If there is anything related to this term, then you can understand what prelims के questions में आपको वो easily समझ में आ सकता है that WaveX is related to this. They will give you 4 statements and then you need to understand कि WaveX क्या हो सकता है, right? So ये इस तरीके से important हो जाता है ऐसा कुछ initiative अगर लेके आते हैं तो, right? Moving on. What were the key highlights? The first we need to understand कि what is the, just a second, yes, what is the sector growth? So sector growth of this media and entertainment section, you can see that is media and entertainment sector projected to grow from almost 2,422 billion in 2023 to 3,667 billion in 2027. So that you can see that it is this sector is trying to grow at this pace. That means we need to invest, we need to make infrastructure for this particular sector. We should allocate the funds in coming future so that it can contribute to our economic growth as well, so focus किस पे रहेगा? Artificial intelligence, you can say AR, VR, gaming, metaverse, innovation, and over 4,500 sellers and 5,900 buyers you can see registered for Waves Bazaar. So you can see that there are some initiatives which are going on towards this particular sector which are very relevant. Moving on, emphasis on women-led startups, example Lobbying Studio, Viger Media. So they are more focusing towards women-led startups in this particular sector. So you can see that yes, this sector has also has a very good potential in coming future, which can be very beneficial for our economic growth as a whole. And if India as a country can put its step in the world at the world level in this particular sector. So what will be the impacts and the consequences? The first one is your boost startup ecosystem and global collaborations, position India as a leader in creative technology and storytelling. Yes, of course, if we are going to put a great step into this particular sector, so it will position India as a creative technology and storytelling. Third is your potential to reduce brain drain by retaining talent within India. Right? Okay. So what will be the positives out of it? Strong government backing, promotes inclusivity and innovation, and strengthens India's soft power globally. Right? So again, if there are some positives related to the recent initiative which government has come up with, so there might be challenges associated with the same initiative. So what are the challenges? Execution risk. First of all, it requires lot of infrastructure, lot of funding. So yes, execution can also be a risk and can be seen as a challenge, which needs to be understood properly, sustaining momentum post summit. Right? Second is here that is facing global competition. Yes, many other countries are trying to do much more better in this particular sector. So there will be too much of competition where India needs to come up with good initiatives, good frameworks. Third is your ensuring fair resource distribution among startups. So these are all the challenges which needs to be taken care of in order to strengthen India's entertainment and media sector in coming future. Moving on, way forward, focus on skill development and continuous startup engagement. Yes, we need to come up with good skilled workers, and we need to focus on skill development so that these kind of sectors can be boosted up properly by acquiring the good skilled workers. Second is your build a robust monitoring system for outcomes, and third is your learn from global example like Korea's Hello Wave. So this is something, a good example which you also can quote in your answers if required. Right? So this was all related to the second news. There's one question. Just give me the answer. We'll give you 30 seconds. Go through the question, go through the statements. Yes, so what is the question here? Question is, which of the following is a key initiative discussed at the World Audio Visual Entertainment Summit, that is Waves 2025, to promote India's creative ecosystem? The first one is here, that is Waves Accelerator, WaveX providing mentorship, funding and global exposure. And second is your limiting sector's growth to traditional media channels. Third, focusing solely on film and television production. Can be a wrong answer. And D is your promoting only women-led startups without their inclusivity measures. So many of you are saying A. So let's go with A. That is A is the correct answer. That is Waves, WaveX providing mentorship, funding and global exposure. Right? Very good. All of you, those who have written A, very good. Moving on to the third news, that is carrot and stick. The 2015 Accord must be revived to prevent Iran going nuclear. So Iran is trying to weaponize its nuclear program. So there are being consequences related to it, which we need to understand in detail. So the first thing is here, context of the article. So this is something, fresh diplomatic talks between US and Iran Muscat and Rome mediated by Oman. So this has been going on at the global level these days. Aim is to prevent Iran from weaponizing its nuclear program and revive the 2015 JCPOA, that is Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. So they want to revive this particular plan. This is what is the context of this article. Now we need to understand some background. So background here is, that is JCPOA signed. When it was signed in 2015, Iran limited nuclear activity in return for sanctions relief. So when JCPOA was signed, so Iran has limited its nuclear activity in behalf of its sanctions were relieved. In 2018, what happened? Trump withdrew from the deal. Trump ने withdrew कर लिया JCPOA से, US withdrew कर चुका था. Then Iran accelerated uranium enrichment. In return, what Iran did, that it accelerated the uranium enrichment. And then in 2025, what is happening? Talks resume amid this particular tensions and regulation instability. So you can see, you can trace the background that what has happened in these last years. Current scenario क्या चल रहा है यहाँ पे? Basically, Iran is capable. We all know that Iran is very much capable of building a nuclear bomb within weeks, right? So, as per assessment, as per the idea we have about Iran's nuclear power technology, that Iran is that capable of building a nuclear bomb within weeks. Second is your US follows a carrot and stick policy, that is offers talk but threatens through military actions. This is what US has always done, that it follows this carrot and stick policy. It offers some thing, but in return it threatens also. It gives some thing in back also. So Israel pushing for strikes on Iran's nuclear sites, but Trump vetoes for now. So you can understand that what US is playing, how US is playing. So this is the current scenario to understand. Here impacts क्या होंगे? The first impact will be avoids direct conflict, keeps diplomatic channels open. This is related to US. US is not US is being too much diplomatic in terms of Iran. They are not they are avoiding the direct conflict and keeping the talks diplomatic in the channels open. Second, chance to stabilize West Asia and global energy markets. But again, this is not happening just because of this diplomatic mindset. Negatives, first is your deep trust deficit due to past US exit from JCPOA. That is, Iran is not able to trust US. Why? Because it has exited itself from the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action in 2018. So military miscalculation risk remain high. So this is what is we can see, that there will be impacts of this particular thing. Moving on. Now, what we need to do so that it can be stabilized. The first is your gradual trust building steps, interim deals. The US needs to build the trust gradually. It is not going to come up like that because of its withdrawal of JCPOA in 2018, Iran is not able to trust the US policies right now. Second is strong IAEA oversight, regional involvement, revival of JCPOA as the negotiation base. Yes, you can revive. US can come up with this way forward, that they can revive this joint comprehensive plan of action so that Iran's idea of weaponizing the nuclear program can be stopped for the time. Conclusion is diplomacy remains the only viable path. Yes. Second, success needs commitment beyond military threats, focuses on de-escalation and mutual guarantees. So here you can understand that how US is being diplomatic in particular deal, and why Iran is not able to trust US's stance because of the withdrawal of this JCPOA agreement, right? So this was all related to this news. I hope the session was beneficial for you people. These are the news which we have covered. The session was beneficial for you people, I hope, and see you in the next class. And also prelims is very near. We are left with only 1 month, so just focus on the studies. Whosoever is preparing for prelims, I request you people to take care of yourself and focus on your studies very well. Thank you so much. See you in the next class.